Hey everyone, Tony D with a hot take about what else? These riots, which have knocked everything off the front page. So as I said in my previous video, Antifa seems to be avoiding New Jersey. I think the reason is, as I said, Philly's across from Camden, New York's across from Jersey City. They decided to take the bigger of the targets, and they're ignoring the cities in Jersey just because Jersey's so tightly packed and small. People tend to gravitate to the big cities. When you go out, you go to the city. You go to Philly, you go to New York. So that's what these hipster idiots have done. Trump is going to declare Antifa a terrorist organization. I may have called that in one of my videos. If I didn't, it was probably because it was in a take I didn't use. Instead of editing my videos, I just do take after take till I get one I like. So I'm going to say it. I called it. Yeah, you morons are going to be a terrorist organization now. How's that feel? I know you're just going to change your name and try to move on that way. That ain't going to work. That ain't going to work because all they're going to do is say, oh, well, you're one of the subsets of Antifa, and we're going to list you too. Thanks a lot, D-bags. I want to curse so bad, but I'm trying not to get YouTubed. You guys have ruined it for actual peaceful protesters now. So now when the government wants to crack down on us anti-war protesters, and they often do, they'll just say, oh, well, these guys are Antifa too. So clear the streets, throw them in jail, bash their heads. You know, we got enough violence being the peaceful protesters. Now, thanks to you, D-bags, we got to deal with this. If you're a protester and you're one of these Antifa morons, you're going to get yourself hurt or killed or worse. Because the National Guard, those guys aren't cops. The Army, those guys aren't cops. They shoot at enemies. If you're wearing a hoodie and a bandana, you're the enemy. You throw bricks, you're the enemy. You throw a water bottle, you're the enemy. A lot of kids, they go to these protests, they think, I'll just make it, it'll be fine. You are not reading the room. Cops are very difficult to read. In fact, they spend their entire careers monitoring their own faces and lying to suspects. So they know very well how to use body language in order to get who they see as an opponent or a suspect to drop their guard. And you may think you're winning over the cop. No, you're not. You're going to get clubbed in the face. And it's going to be a shock to you. And when you go, come on, bro, come on, it's not going to matter if you've pissed that cop off. He's decided to take you in, he's going to take you down, and if you resist in any way, he's going to take the time to do a little tap dance on your head or back or arm or leg. So, you are idiots for goading these guys because they're coming back. And there's already innocent people getting hurt. There was a woman who got shot right in the face with some pepper balls or whatever they were shooting. She was just out getting groceries. First off, I don't know why you would go out in the middle of a riot to get your groceries, but again, I urge people to stay at home during this rioting. Stay at home or get the F out of the city. Get the F out. Come to New Jersey, where apparently, according to my last video, there's been nothing but peaceful protest. So, New Jersey seems pretty safe right now. Why don't you come here? Get yourself a hotel room, a nice place, spend a few days, wait for things to die down. They will die down. In the major cities outside of Minneapolis, it's going to die down probably within a day or two. Minneapolis, however, they may have to go house to house building the building for a while. And some of these morons are just going to get shot. They're just going to be shot dead. I can't see anyone but the mainstream media having much sympathy for them. Certainly the locals in Minneapolis won't have sympathy for these rioters. You know, I'm sure you're going to have people on the television crying like, oh, you know, my kid, he was a good kid. Yeah, he was robbing a Target. He set a building on fire and laughed about it. He threw a rock at some guy and laughed about it. It's no small thing to throw a brick at someone. You can kill them. You throw a brick through a police car window, that's a felony. It's a big deal. These are big boy charges. This is prison charges. You could go to prison. The people who beat down the guy with the sword, they're going to prison. And they're all on videotape. Most of them don't even have masks on. They're going to be identified. And they're going to prison if that guy died. And the rumor is he is dead. He looked in very bad shape. And it's a disturbing video if you want to see the sword guy. I don't recommend you Googling these videos if you're in any way disturbed by violence. I am. I'm disturbed by this violence. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not right. This is not a video game, Antifa members. You are in trouble. You are on videotape in a lot of different places, leaving bricks for people to throw. Yeah, you don't think they could tie you to those bricks, but they will, because you've got the FBI involved now. Those guys, oh, they're going to find you. They're going to find you. You guys in the van who left the bricks, they're going to find you. There's cameras everywhere in these cities. These cameras are running nonstop, 24/7, every traffic light. You idiots are caught doing this, you're going to jail. You're going to prison, okay? You're going to prison. Probably for murder, certainly for assault, certainly for property damage in terms of money that you'll never be able to pay back. The guys who burned down the AutoZone, an AutoZone costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to set up. There's merchandise in there. There's the building itself. There's the loss of money. These AutoZone is not going to say, oh, well, you know, let's just call it a mistake and call it a day. No, they're coming for their money. And they're going to get it from you, dummy. And if they can't get it from you, and you're a minor, they're going to go after your parents. Yeah, if you're a high schooler and you went out with these morons, they're going to come after your parents. They're responsible. Your parents could lose their home, okay? You could lose where you live. And it's no doubt that you're close to becoming 18 anyway. So imagine this, dummy Antifa people. You're 17. You get caught doing this. You get tried as an adult. You can't pay. They go after your parents. They sue them. They lose their house. Your parents have to move into an apartment. You're now, by this time, 18 or 19. You got your own job, and your parents strongly encourage you to get your own place. Yeah, and you end up on your friend's couch, your other Antifa idiot friend, and you got both a record and you're screwed. You are screwed. You've got a record. You've been in jail. You're in debt. There's no jobs. You're screwed. I don't know why you would do this. I guess it's a lot of people who just can't think downstream. They are going to shoot a lot of people. They haven't yet. The cops have shown too much restraint, in my view. I think some of the cops, you know, they're trying to put out all these fires. I think what they should have done is they should have sent a squadron of like 20 to certain buildings to just, you know, surround them, arrest the protesters, seal the building, and then move on to the next one. Or even just arrest the protesters, throw them in jail, and come back for the next one. And when I say protesters, I mean the rioters. I don't mean the peaceful protesters. People are, of course, allowed to peacefully protest. But if you're a peaceful protester, excuse me, I think you should get off the streets. Now, in New Jersey, we seem to be having an okay time. The police here are marching with the peaceful protesters, and that's all fine. I support that. Good for that. But if you're doing any kind of vandalism, you're lighting a police car on fire, you're spray painting Starbucks, any of that, no. You do not have my support. You don't have anybody's support, really, except for the idiots in Antifa who are egging you on. These people think they're in a revolution. They are not. They have no idea what they're doing. This is not the United States doesn't collapse because of a few riots. They've had a few riots before. And granted, these are pretty big, and you've done some damage, Antifa, but your fun is over. Trump is going to put down the hammer, and you're going to prison. Prison. It's not a good place. There are plenty of you, and you've left an internet trail a mile wide. They're going to find you. And you know who's going to help them? Facebook, Twitter, all those social media platforms that egged you on and said, oh, no, we won't take down Antifa's Twitter page. We won't take down Antifa's Facebook page or any of their tweets. No, we love Antifa. Google loves Antifa. Maybe. I'm making that up. I think, it's not that they really like you or love you. I think these social media platforms, in my opinion, have treated you with kid gloves because a lot of people who work there are sympathetic towards your goals of a communist utopia. But they are delusional, and they don't understand what a communism really is. It's this. It's riots. It's death and destruction. Everybody will be equal when everybody's sitting in a pile of rubble. Then you'll all be equal. Won't that be fun? So they are coming. And all those media platforms, I promise you, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm speculating, that they are going to hand you over to the U.S. government. Oh, you want the Twitter feed of Antifa in Portland? Here you go. Oh, you want all the names of the people who subscribe to it? Here you go. Oh, you want their real names? No problem. Here you go. You idiots all have smartphones. They can find you. And then, when you're designated a terrorist organization and you're trying, oh, I better get rid of my bandana and my hoodie, that's not going to matter. See, because they got you on videotape. And they're going to connect you to one of these many, 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 many crimes. These are going to be federal charges. They're not going to be local charges. It's not going to be the Portland PD that its mayor is telling the cops to stand down while you get to march around and pretend to LARP as a communist. No, these are going to be federales. They're going to show up to your house and they're going to arrest you. And they're going to barge in and they're going to search you. They're going to search your room. They're going to find your laptop computer and all the messages inciting violence on it that, these social media platforms allowed. And that's all going to be evidence at your trial. The trial that's going to break your family financially. They'll have to get a lawyer, and the lawyer will tell you, you should plead. The charges, they just dump charges on you these days. I mean, that's the justice system. You know how unfair it is. You were protesting it. It's a shame you couldn't peacefully protest it like the rest of us. So when faced with that financial burden and all the charges and the years you could do as opposed to a couple of years, you're going to have a decision to make. And you're probably going to end up taking a 2 to 3 year stint, 2 to 4 year stint in real big boy jail. where big boy things will happen to you. It's not going to be pleasant. Those guys in prison, oh, they don't mess around. They don't care that you're woke and you're for the marginalized groups. They don't care about the Communist Manifesto and Karl Marx and all the wonderful things you learned about in college. They don't know any of that stuff. They don't care. What they want to know is what you can do for them, because they're going to pass you around like a pack of cigarettes. And you may be doing things you never thought you'd do. And that's horrific. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Not even you, Antifa idiots. But that's what's coming. That's what's coming. And all because you decided to step into the deep end. Bad move. Bad move. You know, I'm really a big fan of the guys in Anonymous, you know, because first off, they don't take credit for anything they do. And it's all on computers. So really, who's getting hurt? No one. You know, when they expose people or, you know, no one really gets hurt when you're exposing information. I mean, the people who kind of deserve it get hurt. You know, that's a kind of organization I can, like, you know, disorganized organization I can sort of get behind as long as they're doing the right thing. Like to see them dig down and uncover all the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Anonymous, just a suggestion. But, you know, when you run around and play communist and throw bricks at people, no. No, you're done. Explosives, you guys are going to prison, man. You don't know what you've done. Look, if you're one of these morons, stop now. Just stop. Throw away your bandana. Throw away your hoodie, all your Antifa stuff. Get rid of it. Delete all your tweets. Just delete your accounts. Delete your accounts connected to Antifa. Delete them all. And never go to another meeting. Never go to another rally. Never answer another email for any of these people. Be done with it right now. Because the moment Trump designates it as a terrorist organization, you're in trouble. You're wanted. And it's just a matter of time before some FBI somewhere decides, hey, you know, this kid is in Antifa. I just found him on his Facebook page. Let's go jack him up. Because all these FBI agents, all these government types, what they do 24/7 is justify their existence in their insanely high budgets. They're going to be dragging you in, all the Antifa guys they can find, because it's going to be, look, see, we need more money. Look at all these Antifa guys. There's so many of them. It's not going to matter that you're crying. It's not going to matter you didn't do anything really except stand there, shout from the back, and maybe throw a water bottle kind of in the direction of the cops. If you were in one of these groups, anywhere near one of these murders, one of these arsons, one of these looting situations, you could be connected to it. And you're screwed. So stop right now. Stop.